Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 24, Week 8. So, you know what we're actually getting pretty close to that I almost forgot about. This campaign, of course, with the previous patch, of course we're going to be getting updates soon, either this Tuesday, next Tuesday, the following Tuesday, some Tuesday. But we are getting really close to the new shiny token system that was added in the other patch. Basically what ended up happening, of course, is they end up revamping campaigns a little bit to have a little bit of a different overall reward, where it was overall quite a bit better because of how much you get on the free side now between all these tasks that you can do over, of course, the 10-week period, which we'll get a bunch more of those soon in about 3 weeks. But also from the actual pass itself, mostly with the addition of mythic shiny tokens. And yeah, 2 weeks from now, or 1 week if you bought the bigger pass, we will not only be getting the new Mythic, which is basically like alternative Megavore, but more situational, but way lower mana cost because it's going to only be 20 with shininess. But shiny tokens. We'll actually be able to get it to shiny level 2, I believe, with what we have here. With shiny level 3 being if you bought like the Mega Pass, but we'll just get shiny level 2, that's fine. It's mostly the shiny level 2 that matters anyways, because that's where you get the slightly better ability. The only thing the other thing would do is give it 1 lower mana cost, which, you know, is nice, but we can live with 1 less or 1 more mana. Not really gonna make that big a difference a lot of times. But yeah, we actually get access to that soon. We'll definitely mess around with that whenever we get it. It might actually be viable enough to actually cover a video on. Unlike most of these, they're just like immediately dead content. This one is actually good. Hopefully we'll start seeing this for all shiny mythics in the future, or, you know, going forward. Because they've had a pretty big streak of just the campaign mythics being absolutely horrifically bad. So hopefully now that they're going to be shinied in the near future, or, you know, the next one and all ones after that, hopefully it'll actually be usable. Anyway, so today, what do we have going on? We got Tower of Doom going on this week. We have a double Quarter Foxes event going on, both this Tuesday and Friday. Not sure if I emphasized that enough in the video, but don't forget for the next 2 weeks to be doing this daily, the current Beast event. You basically just run a brown team and just go run a bunch of quick battles. Actually, I'm going to do those first just so I don't forget. This is a daily, and if you don't end up doing it, you will end up losing out on some of the value you would otherwise end up getting. This is also, I believe, the second time that we have had access to Freddy's earlier fights. I think I'm just going Pharaoh. Oh, we'll just do it like this. Actually, we'll do it like that. Because obviously we just want Flower Dragon to get off the ground. But let's go do them real quick. Because you definitely want to be upkeeping with these for the next 2 weeks. The main things you want are, of course, the armor that you can get this any year. The troop, which is basically just a weaker, or maybe not weaker, but an alternative version of the Orange troop that you can end up getting from the faction. So overall, not the greatest as far as what it does, but, you know, another thing for the collection. The pet for it, you buy it 7 times, you get the golden version of it as well. And of course, the Orb of Power. I believe this is the second Orb of Power since Maelstrom Dagannoth. So if you've been needing this, we got one from the summer event, and now we have one for the Beast event. The next one won't be in until October for the Halloween event, I believe. This is one I'm forgetting of between then. But, yeah, this is another power orb that you can get pretty much for free prior to, or now that we have Maelstrom Dagannoth. So if you still need power orbs for that, there it is. If you don't want to have to deal with the RNG of Vault Event weekends or anything. But for now, also, gosh, that is such a long title. Magical Beast and Where They Live. It is such a long title that they had to shrink down the text so much. It's funny. Because normally the words there wouldn't nearly be anywhere that long. Also, it doesn't matter when you use the gold battle, so we'll just use it immediately. Guild War today, too? No, there's no Guild War today, right? It is Monday. We did lose the Guild War. We lost every Guild War as a guild last week. Hopefully we go and tank like 1 billion rating, so we have a little bit easier Guild War. The next Guild War is red, so it should be pretty free compared to what we have been getting. Most notably Suncrest being kind of horrible. At least compared to some of the restrictions. I would definitely say it is the hardest one we've had so far. That and Broken Spire. But Broken Spire we didn't really fully experience because the matchmaking was broken for Broken Spire. Whereas for Suncrest, it was actually working correctly, which is bad. Because the Broken Spire, while it was a somewhat bad team comparatively to some of the weeks, the opponents you had to face were just really easy on average due to the matchmaking not quite working correctly that first Guild War, which is why they had to do a whole update and everything for it. Yeah, Guild Wars on an early game account could definitely be a little rough as well when you're lacking all the stats and just the troops in general. This one should be pretty free though. It's red. Red has access to double Tesla. Red has access to, obviously, Flower Dragon, Wanda Stars and the Flower Dragon. You are allowed to run Wanda Stars for this. Defensively, you don't want to, but it's an offensive team, so you're allowed to. So you can literally just run Wanda Stars into whatever. Obviously, we have Zarg Boom Pile, which has the double explode to Skulls. So if you have like double of that mythic, that could be a good way to mana accumulate if you want to go down that route. Yeah, we have a lot of options for red. Like a lot of options. So it'll be interesting to see how that Guild War goes, because it's by far the strongest teams we've had yet for Guild War. It's not even close. It's basically just old Guild War system. Like, you know, an average red Guild War day. Like, it's literally no different than what you would otherwise make for red Guild War. The only difference being it's been about 2 years since we've had a red Guild War. Or we're getting one in about a month from now. Right, and that's all of our battles. And then we just come back, do this daily, and then, yeah, just get the rewards. I'll probably get the legend first so we can mess around with it, then the pet, then the orb of power. And obviously we don't need to get the armor because we already got it, so we can actually save a couple gems there. But yeah, basically just 50 gems a day, buy the little pack thingy, do your battles, get what you want from it. With the main ones being 1 armor, 1 troop, 6 pets to get the golden version, and an orb of power is normally the way to go. If you have a little bit of spares, maybe the pet food too. It's quite a bit of pet food. I normally don't go for this, but if you have the spare, it's 105 pet food for 200 points. It's a pretty low priority, but it's not bad. It's enough to max out the pet, which is what it's for. Not the golden pet, but just the normal version of the pet. You'll be able to max it all the way, while also getting all the copies of it, of course, if you're missing the pet food for it. I feel like it's more useful for newer... Oh, wait! I didn't realize this! I didn't even mention this in the video. I didn't even see this. But yeah, you'll also get the other copy that you need to max out the pet from this. I forgot about this. Nothing like too amazing here, but you know, a little bit of loot here. There's some gold marks. There's a little bit of curse runes, half a shiny token. A little bit of stuff here. That's the extra copy that you need to be able to go and max out the pet. But just kill purple enemies. Should be able to get that done automatically just from doing whatever from dailies. It's hello Defiant. Also, I didn't even say hello, any hellos. Also, let me go hand out a code too. But hello everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hope all you guys been doing well. Now we'll go to Blue Doom. Let me start from the top. Hello, yeah. Hello, Bill. Hello, Jets. Hello, Chad. Hello, Minnie. Hello, Tyrion. Hello, Ron. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Defiance. Hello, everyone else. Welcome, 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 welcome. Also, unless we're getting a patch tomorrow, our streak of streaming has ended. This might be our only Gems of War stream this week. However, this Saturday, I think I am going to finally be revisiting Puzzle Quest. Some people have been requesting for it for a little bit. We played it really, really hard for the first year. So much so we were actually the #1 guild in the game. As well as, I think, one of the highest few ranked people in the game. However, I haven't really played it much since launch. I kind of quit pretty much like I played it during the beta and then like a few months into it launching. And then basically haven't played it since. I think it's been out for like 3 or 4 years now. And I'm finally going to revisit it this Saturday. Am I going to get re-addicted to the game? Probably not. But I do want to check it out to see what kind of changes I made. It's the other main game that the Gems of War developers are currently doing as well. I don't think the whole team works on it, but there is some overlap between the Gems of War team and that game. As far as who's working on it. Yeah, I'm talking about Puzzle Quest 3. Did I say something else? I meant Puzzle Quest 3. Did I say something that wasn't Puzzle Quest 3? I meant Puzzle Quest 3. So I'll go for the gold. It's such a pretty high amount of gold here. So hello, Lester. Welcome, welcome. After this, we'll go head over to Blue Doom then. I believe my guild is already fully scouted to the end. So I might have to go and hand out all the gems again for all the main contributors. I think it was Mustaine and someone else. Plus, I didn't give Mustaine gems last week, even though he did a lot of contribution. But we will this time because he helped with the what's it called event. Let me go grab that right now. Let's see. Who are our main contributors? Who do we have? Not aligned, skill chat. Yeah, it looks like it's Mustaine and JD. The cat lover. Actually, Mustaine has no title. It feels weird seeing no title next to someone. Because everyone generally has one. I almost forgot you could even set none. But yeah, we're already pretty much scouted all the way to 25, it looks like. Obviously, we're not going that far today. I think we can get to like 14, 15-ish, somewhere around there. But, yeah, let's go do what we can do. Alright, let me go hand out the gems first for that. Let me just double check that they were the main two. Pretty sure it is. It wouldn't really be different on that screen. Just want to make sure. Yeah, you can tell based on, the boons, how many they scouted. Because they both have a really, really high boon number. Which normally wouldn't happen otherwise. This is probably how many you should have if you just did it normally. So yeah, they were the two main scouters. Even though they're not the highest right now, they were scouting out the most amount of rooms. Which means they have done the most amount of battles, technically. Oh, so Mount North misclicked on one, apparently. You should be at 12 there, or 8, not at 13. Let's see what's scouting some, potentially. Alright. So it was mostly JD and Vance, then. Vance. That's the vice president. I mean, JD and Mustaine. When I say JD, I'm like, okay, Vance is the next word that comes after. I mean, JD and Mustaine. Let's see. What do we need here? Not that. Other menu. Give gift. Where's the other one? Give gift. Alright, the gifts have been sent. Hopefully I get some more of those in the daily soon. We're handing out so many recently, I'm starting to run low. Occasionally we get like 3 here for pretty free. Anyways. We did that. Let's go do Blue Doom. Are we running this team? Yes, except early battles, we're going to be running the weapon not as a tank. Of course, the main reason why we have it there normally, or for the copy-paste team, is over time you would run it as, you would need your hero to tank for the team. However, of course, for the really early fights, it's just blocking us in blue. So we're just going to keep it back there until we're at threat of dying, in which case we'll move it to first slot. Also, this is a 4x dragon team. It's also a 4x blue dragon team. Aside from weapon, this is pretty much exactly what you'd be running under, like a blue restriction or something for defend. I think we even mentioned it for that one video last week. But yeah, it gains a lot of extra stats. And it is, of course, pure blue, so it works for any pure blue restriction. And the only main exception would be you replace the weapon out for a real weapon. But of course, for Blue Doom, we do have to run this weapon, unfortunately. But otherwise, the team is just as strong as it would otherwise be. Which is instantly win with one click. Alright, we did that. Move forward. Does Doomed Arbalist? No. This current set of Doomed weapons are pretty meh. It just deals some damage to an enemy plus 4 per temporary level, which is not even enough to one-shot something. If they use blue mana, it explodes 3 blue gems, which is not a lot for 18 mana cost. And if the enemy has a Doom, which is very rare on a natural player team, it then gains quarter of its mana back. Yeah, it's very underwhelming. It has a few extra perks, obviously, from being upgraded too, but nothing that you would really bring it out for. You'll use it for this event and then pretty much never touch it again. This is kind of one of the unfortunate things whenever they do a weapon like this that's not actually useful. Is that we have to deal with it for 6 events in a row, which is almost like 6 months. Like it's a little over 5 months. Because they take place every 4 weeks. But yeah, hopefully the next Doom category is pretty good for weapon. I think we're almost there, aren't we? I think in like another Doom event or 2 we get the next set of weapons. Hopefully they're actually usable. It's always nice when the Doom weapons are actually usable outside of the event instead of just being used for the event and then being dead content forever. Because unless they get put in like an absurdly bad location, you're almost never really running the bad Doom weapons. Unless the weapons for that kingdom are just that bad that it's actually considered average. But even then you tend to not because it's monocolor for such a high mana cost. Which makes it really, really hard to use, even if it is a good weapon. That's one of the reasons why you normally don't see like the Doom things that convert all the skulls and do AoE damage. Or even some of the other good Doom weapons. It's just really hard to fill into one color because a lot of mana accumulation right now is very explode and destroy heavy. And whenever you're exploding and destroying and everything like that, it is, you're getting a really wide amount of mana. So it's really hard to fill into one singular color like that. So monocolor weapons tend to not get used as much these days. Even if they are good monocolor weapons. Mostly because why would you use a monocolor for like 18 when you could use Wand of Stars? And cover every color, but also be 18 mana costs. It's the Wanda Stars problem that the game currently has. Or it's almost like the answer for any weapon on any team ever. And a lot of Doom weapons suffer from that right now, even the decent ones. This is why I run the Doom weapon. We could just run Wanda Star. Because they're both the same mana cost, except it covers 5 more colors and covers like every utility you would ever need. Which frees up another slot on your team to not need to be that. Uh, 2 and 5. Oh, so we'll be taking every power just to help out the guild a little bit. They're pretty optional if you take them or skip them. Because they start to have diminishing return as you keep getting more and more. But I will be going for all of them. Because those powers, what they do is, they add +1 to all these numbers. And then once these go all the way to the top, it gives you another stat. Where initially you only need 1, then 2, then so on and so forth. You basically need whatever the number is. So we have +7 HP, so to be able to get +8, we need to get 8 of them. It seems like we're the lowest on magic, though it is the rarest normally. It's one of the reasons why I go for power, because it gives +1 to all of these, not just one of them. But all 4 of these get a +1 to them. Not the bigger number, but the, you know, the lower number that eventually gets them to the bigger number. Let's look at HP Herm. We got some skippers over here. HP Herm and some Mash, skip them all. That's fine, though. They're definitely in the optional category. I do personally go for them, though, just to help out the guild. But they're one of the first good rooms that you would start skipping if you're low on sigils or something. As you eventually have to take so many of them to even gain 1 stat to the point where they eventually become useless. Though early on in the event, they're nice to stack up just to have the extra stats for everyone for the week. But once you start getting to like +10, +15, they start to really have diminishing return. Where you need so many of them that it's basically not even doing anything at that point. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do get a new set of Doom weapons pretty soon. I think it's in like 2 Doom events from now. We start getting the next set. So hopefully we get to see some cool ones. Or, you know, the new category. I'm not sure if they're in the spoiler thread yet. If so, I haven't seen them. Because normally I look at trip spoilers if I'm even going there, not even the weapon stuff. I feel like the next one's going to be a utility weapon. Because you've done a lot of damaging weapons lately for Doom weapons. We haven't really gotten a support-based Doom weapon in a while. Oh, so I always double check that menu. I check it like 3 times over every time. I check it way too much. Just making sure we don't misclick. Oh no, the resummon. Whatever shall we do? I guess we'll just recast our full mana dragon. I still can't get over sometimes how strong Flower Dragon is. I was really expecting them to make that set of dragon support dragons. And then they made it stronger than Stellarix. Or at least in some situations stronger than Stellarix. Stellarix is still good. Unlike Diamantina that got pretty left behind. Now we got a 5 and a 2. Can't wait for the next dragon. Yeah, we got a little while to wait though. But that's time to go build up all the Dragonite reserves. Because how long ago were Flower Dragon? Wasn't that earlier this year? So we still got a good, like, year from now until we get the next set. Like September of next year, probably. Like, we got a while before we get them. Because they've been doing about one every set every, like, year and a half or so. And September of next year would be around the 1.5 year point. I'm forgetting a room here. It was 5 and 2. Is everything right? Yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, generally the way that the power works is the first few days you want to take every power. And then after that you can kind of start skipping it. Is how I generally view power. Like up to about Wednesday or Thursday you should take it, but then after that you can kind of skip them. Because that's around time when they start getting diminishing return. Or you need like 20 something of them to equal even one stat. But the earlier you can stack up a bunch of them, the better. While everyone's actually doing the event. And the reason I normally mention up to that point is that's around when you would normally naturally get to floor 4. I mean, floor 26, I mean. Is normally by about Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. Is take the power up to floor 26. And then from there you basically start skipping it. But also if you're doing the battles later in the week, it could also be worth skipping in that regard. Like if it's already Saturday and you're still at like floor 5 or something. Because at that point most people would have already done all the battles they want to get in. So the extra power you would get would do almost nothing, if not literally nothing. Wow, this one's really packed. There's not a single bad room here. Though I will be skipping the one haste. Those little lowercase h's basically just conserve some of your points. And bring you closer to getting the Vow Raven. They're decent, but if you're just planning on going for floor 26 completion, then they're really not needed, necessarily. Like, they can help you out. But as long as you're buying up to the weapon, you'll generally have enough as long as you're not scouting. And even if you are scouting some, you would generally still have enough. You might just take an extra day or two. Because we've had to scout some Mondays before with just the 500 gem buy, and we still got it done by, like, Saturday. It just takes a little bit later into the week. Alright, 5 and 2. But basically, like, every 3 to 4 haste that you take is basically one extra battle. Because the Vow Raven. So we'll hand out a code after we go finish up Blue Doom. And after that, yeah, basically just basic daily is the only thing left then. Hey, what was the Underspare team this week? Are we going deep into it? We had Stellarix, but I wasn't a fan of the mana accumulation. Obviously, Stellarix really good. Lack of good mana accumulation, kind of meh though. I'll double check the team and see how far we'll go. Because obviously Stellarix is amazing, but Volpacia doesn't really have much to support it, oddly enough. Like, it definitely feels like Stellarix was just kind of plopped there for the sake of it because the kingdom needed options. Because it does not work at all in Volpacia. Like, it is, like, negative synergy. Oh, maybe not. There's some things that kind of support it, but not really. It's definitely one of those troops that feel like it was put there just to be put there. Just because the kingdom needed some more things to go bolster up the number. Oh good, he actually did leave it there. I was hoping for that. Easy enough. That is everything for floor 13. Yep. Moving on. How many battles do we have left? We have enough to clear 1 or 2 more floors depending on Val Ravens. Also depending on layout, I guess, too, technically. Because we could technically clear out 3 floors if they're all a double battle. Like this one. The next one isn't. So yeah, we'll be able to get 2 floors forward then. So yeah, that's about where I said. I said around 15 or 16 or something. We'll be able to make it to 15. And would have been able to make it to 16 if this one didn't have the luck either. That's going to set us back 1 battle. Alright, 14 was just the one, double checking. Oh, we don't have a good cascade here. You know what? I'm still going for it because we have it over there. We only need any amount of extra turn. It doesn't have to be a 5 times. I need to get it rolling off the ground. Oh no, I forgot. We don't get full mana automatically. I'm so used to that because of every team ever these days. Just literally pass your turn because you get so much mana per turn. No, not this team. There's a lot of ways to get mana, but it doesn't do it automatically. Oh, so that one tooth is still really bothering me, by the way. The one I was talking about the other day. It has not gotten much better. Luckily, I'm heading back there this Thursday, so hopefully it'll be able to do what they need to do. Let's see. It's kind of funny because I have a yearly physical checkup thing, whatever you call it. And it's literally right across the street from the dentist. Like, I'm literally just going to walk there. Well, not to walk to the dentist. But it's within the same parking lot, so within the parking lot. Let's get done at one location and then just walk to the other. It's like right across the street. Alright, 15. We did that, we did that. Yeah, we're good to go. Why not just use double Takshaka? We do have access to it. I was mostly doing this for the more consistent full mana turn 1. Because you have to keep in mind, we automatically get a bunch of destroy on turn 1. If this was a normal team, we could definitely go more that angle. Or, you know, without potion effects. But because of the potion effects, we do have enchant, we do have the 5 explodes or 4 explodes at start of battle, stuff like that. And it's a little bit better to go down the 50% mana route because of that. There's a lot of times without even casting anything, we're already going to get to full mana. And then this is mostly just for backup, the empower thingy. Oh, is that the only thing on this floor? Yeah, other than the haste. Okay, we're good to go. And I think that's as far as we can go unless we get a Val Raven here. Oh, okay, one more floor. Stand corrected. Because a lot of times on turn 1, we're already getting full mana. So the Empower is kind of there for the second cast more so than anything. Oh yeah, we have everything to actually make it to floor 18, wow. Yeah, that is decently deep. Nice, we got the yellow from Sky. Good job, Yellow Storm. Alright, do we think we'll get Valhawk here? We give it a shot. It's enough to fail, clear out the floor if we do. Oh, we need to get a Valhawk from this battle. Or Valraven, I mean. Nah, we didn't get it. Well, we'll get it later this week. Yeah, Tower of Doom almost completely finished. On day 1. And obviously over the next 3 days or so, we get all the rest of the battles we need. So no need to throw gems or anything. It's pretty much the quickest mode to finish these days as far as a weekly mode. As long as your guild ends up scouting everything. Because once you have the full set of 25, you're pretty much just good to go. Alright, so other things. Let me go hand out a code. It did say once we finish out Tower of Doom, we'll go do that. Here you guys go, enjoy. Next order business. I wanted to go check something. I already forgot what it was. Magical Beast, obviously we did. Don't forget to do this as a daily for the next 2 weeks to be able to get all the nice rewards. We have this little thingy. Grab all that. Let's maybe do 2 Explore. We could do that at some point. Maybe we'll do Explore 12 actually. Campaign, that will get done on its own. Not really need to go out of my way for it. Once the Mythic rolls around, we will, but that's 2 weeks from now. Alright, Dungeon and Underspire. What was our Underspire team again? How good or bad was it this week? Ah. That hurts. We have access to Stellaryx. But like nothing. Nothing to use it with. Where's all the options? That's really unfortunate. You would think a week you'd have access to Stellaryx would be so free. But surprisingly not. Like, it is surprisingly not free. Despite having Stellaryx as an option. Like, once you get Stellaryx going, obviously, yeah, you're good to go. The problem is doing that with this kingdom. Once it gets off the ground, it's pretty good, though. As you would expect from a Stellaryx team. Wait, did we just random stats effect and enchant on turn 1? That's pretty funny. The class gives 1 random stats effect every start of battle. And enchant is by far the best one we could get. I don't know, this isn't that bad. I think we'll do 50 gem or something. So we got another wall layout again. We got really heavily walled last week as well. But yeah, I think this is going to be a 50 gem per day angle. I just do a floor 4 completion. Oh no, this one could technically go all the way. I don't know, maybe we do full completion. Stellaryx is pretty broken beyond belief. The more I'm using this, the more I kind of remember, yeah, it is Stellaryx after all. It doesn't matter how slow you get him up. The second you get him up, it's just over. Yeah, I think this is going to be a full completion week. Stellarex is just too strong to not go for it. Even if mana accumulation is abysmal. You just need to get him to full once and you won. And then Stellarex is the rest from there. But yeah, we're going for full completion. Oh, onwards! Let's go do all of our daily battles then. And by the end of the week, we'll get the double gold, double silver, everything else. But it's definitely worth it still to be doing this event. Technically, it's worth it every week. It's just some weeks have just such annoying options to go do it with. It's about 1,000 gems for double gold medal, double silver medal, petal, a bunch of other stuff. But it's a double gold medal that's definitely done for. Because that alone, if you could infinitely buy, I honestly would say is still worth over 1,000 gems each. If you could like infinitely buy the gold orb with gems. It's easily at least 1,000, if not 2,000. Which is nice because the event itself only costs 1,000, you get everything else on top of it. And you get 2 of them, not even 1. So hello, Chris. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a full Underspare completion week. Assuming you own Stellarex. It's a pretty big if. But if you own Stellarex, this is definitely a full completion Underspare week. So hello, Outlander. Hello, Jamie. Welcome, welcome. So hello, Bill. Welcome, welcome. Roll the hellos. Oh no, he denied my thing. He denied all my green with his cast there. And now I'm blocking more mana than I gained. It's still not worth casting, gosh. And now it is because we get 1 guarantee mana there. 2 Imperials and a Daily Plunder? Yeah, I didn't mention that when I was getting it, but yeah. That was the mythic one, so we did get 2. Which is really nice. The double Imperial there. With the 90 books. Really nice reward. I still gotta go do the Explorer. I'll do that after we finish out Underspare. But yeah, those rewards are absurdly good for how little time they take to go do. It's one of those few dailies that's basically an absolute must to go do. Few minutes for some of the best rewards you get per day. Yeah, how many battles do we have left? Oh no, only 1 left! I bet throughout the week I will do 100% completion here. Yeah, Stellarex is just way too strong to not do it. Even with how bad every mana accumulator here is, Stellarex is just too strong. We basically have to do a full completion. Even on final floor, we're going to be 2-casting the whole team down. Plus we have mech, so we're dispelling them, so even if they have Submerge, it's still double cast to win. It's really free. At least with Stellarex. Alright, that's done, that's done. Let's go to dungeon real quick. Anything good here? Come on, top 3, top 3, top 3. Boo. Boo. Yeah, let's just roll with it. Standard Flower Dragon team. And then I think the only other daily left is, what, PvP? Then I'll probably send a little bit of Explore because we have to do it for the daily anyways. And, still trying to pinch that little bit of Explore grind every day. As long as we do that, we will not need to go out of our way to grind tokens whenever we start getting more deep books. Alright, next week's Monday. We gotta start throwing down deep books again. Because we just had the PvP reset. I still haven't regained my 20,000 PvP points yet. And I want to deliberately tank my rating this week if we can. Hopefully we're in a bracket where we can. Because last week I wasn't able to make the red cut to go down. Because after we go back into Ruby, we could just dump a bunch of our metal thingies. And take first, second, or third place for free. It's one of the few benefits of spending the $5 that we did on the thingy, other than just messing around with them a little bit. That does give us enough of those little gold token things to immediately go take first place from one of them for 0 time, which is basically a free deep book. On top of all the other rewards we got. Well, technically not free, $5. But you know, it's an extra one that we otherwise would not have gotten. Or at least we wouldn't have to put the time in to do the grind. Because we would just instantly get the points. Because those are 5,000 each. They are a lot. Oh yeah, I'm still using the Teleco team here. That's funny. Let me go get the, what's it called? Not Daily Quick Kill. I want the Tuckshaka build. We still have the shiny Teleco here that I was just talking about when we were messing around with them. Overall, if you didn't get them, you're not missing much. But I figured we'd do it at the end just to mess around with them. But yeah, he's pretty meh. Looks cool as shiny, though. Yeah, as far as the shinies we've gotten from an event, I would say Baphomet is the strongest one to ever get legendary shiny. I'm curious which one they're going to be choosing for red. Do we actually know yet? Do I need to spoil the threads to actually mention which one is going to be shiny for red in 4 weeks from now? Obviously it's not going to be Tesla, but one could hope. Because that'd be the funniest thing ever if they did do it to Tesla. There's a -% chance they would, but it would be funny. Just make Tesla the strongest troop in the entire game. Stronger than Flower Dragon or Stellarex. I needed that. Because it could literally be any red legend in the entire game. It is a very, very wide drop table of what that could be. Or not drop table, but you know what I mean. Like, the amount of options that could be is very absurdly high. Yeah, we got either War Gear or Beast. I feel like Beast is a little bit better. However, my Glacial, what's her name, is over here. So I want to go use that. Immortal Glacia. What do we have for mana? I think we have blue. The problem is that mana drains us back, though. Oh, I could do other blue. Perfect. I guess I'll keep this as backup and then just run Hero with Wand. Because I need to get Blessed before we do the Mana Drain gem. Because that does give you immune to Mana Drain. I'm just going to go basic double blue banner here. I don't think we need anything fancy. And just to deal with... Actually, I don't need to deal with Submerge. I could actually go Frost Mage or something. Give her a little bit extra freeze. Her base ratio is freeze, right? Yeah, it's boosted by frozen enemies. It's weird because a lot of the other ones are boosted by their gem, but this one's actually based on freeze. So using Frost Mage actually does help here a little bit. Because I don't need Mech for Dispel here. We can get rid of Barrier with it, but beyond that, we don't need it for Anti-Submerge. Which is one of the main reasons we're normally bringing it. Is for something that hits all enemies simultaneously to have an Anti-Submerge option. Yeah, Tesla Shiny would be really funny broken. Because not only would it have a 13 mana cost instead of 15, but they would also be boosting her damage even more somehow. Which is crazy to think about given that she's already won the highest damage cast in the entire game. Like more than most mythics in the game as a legend. Like they're obviously not going to do Tesla. It would be the most hilarious thing ever, though. Also, if you want to talk pay to win, that is like the most required $5 that the game would ever introduce in the history of ever. If they actually release Shiny Tesla. But no, they're just going to pick some kind of useless red legend that will just get slightly better. Wait, they both convert green. I was doing this to try to diversify my Empower. Wait. I just now realized that. It's like, oh yeah, this one's green to blue, this one's green to blue. That covers more color. No, they're both green to blue. Whoops. I was wondering why we weren't getting extra alignment. They're both the same convert, just one does Spirit Gem instead of normal gem. Which we want just in case we accidentally Mana Drain ourselves. So the other one could be whatever then. A little late, but I don't know, give us Mana Link. Sure, I'll take blue. Because the double Empower is not doing anything. Might as well get an extra blue for every blue. Make it a little bit easier to get to full mana. Oh, so this was actually really meta when traits first came out. Because it had 50% mana start into Link. Which, oddly enough, when 2.0 came out, this was actually among, not like the absolute best damage in the game, but among one of the more competent options. Like, this is pretty comparable to like where the power level of an Immortal is right now. Like, this ability at launch, when traits first came out with this trait setup, was considered one of like the top 20 troops in the game at the time when traits first came out. That's how much power creep we've gotten. Day one of release of traits, this guy was like lower top 20. Alright, there we go. And then the only other thing we have to go do is our 3 dailies, which we'll probably just do on Central then. Since there's no other battles we need to clean up at the moment. Oh, Shiny Yagwe would be really nice. Weeklies always been a really nice, well-rounded troop. And I would actually bring him back into the meta. He's kind of fallen off a little bit. But a 2 lower mana cost and a slightly better ability would definitely help him out a ton. It would make him go from, like, ever so niche for some events to actually usable again. Because that would be the power increase he would need to keep up with the power curve of the recent power creep in the game. Because he was released back in, like, what, 2016, 17, 18? Somewhere around there. Like, he was really good for the time, but he's gotten a bit dated. The premise of what he is still really good. It's just the numbers don't really keep up as well. Now that we have, like, 50 to 100% more stats compared to then. And a lot of his things are, like, static numbers. They didn't really increase as much over time because, you know, they're static numbers. Let's go into another code. There we go. Also, I'm almost done with all of the July codes, even though we're like nearing the end of August. And every July code almost used up. By next stream, we'll probably be able to use up the last of them. All the way at the end of August. We're still like 1 month behind on codes. Obviously, the main thing that set us back was when we did Brighter Shores for a bit. But we're almost caught up. We're still 1 month behind on codes, though. We'll catch up eventually, but it's actually good because this means we never run out of codes anymore. There's never a day where I'm like, oh, sorry, no codes because we ran out. Which is nice. That should be all the battles we need. We'll get the rest of that later. We got all of our Valhawks. PvP season we'll get as we go. We'll go open up our burning marks and see if we get anything, though. There's 2 things that we're looking for other than just good immortals. We're looking for Immortal Leo, which is basically just Immortal Glacia, but for Bay of Stars. So it's really good. Unfortunately, we won't be able to upgrade it nearly as far as Glacia. But it's basically as Immortal Glacia for a different location. And Immortal Gemini was from like 3 events ago, and I still somehow do not have a copy of it. I don't know how we've gotten that unlucky. And nope. And nope. Unfortunate. Eventually. Someday we will get the Immortal Gemini. Oh, we could upgrade this guy, though. He's from the last time we were opening them the other day. Oh, level 10, don't we? Shouldn't we be... Oh, no, that's the next level. I'm pretty sure I still don't have that achievement. There's an achievement for getting, like, 5 of them to level 10 or 10 of them to level 10. It's the only achievement I don't have. Wow, I still only have 2? Own 5 Immortals at level 10. I only have 2. And one of them was from when we bought the path, which is Immortal Glacia. And the other one is the rogue thing that we just got a few copies of. Wow, I still do not have all of them. I only have 2. The Immortal Selene, which is pretty meh. And Immortal Glacia, which is actually kind of decent. A lot of them are getting pretty close, though. Level 9, level 8, 8, 8, another 9, 8. But yeah, we still don't have 510s. It's the only achievement we don't have. They could be fixed by just buying the PvP season like once or twice, but obviously we'll just get it naturally. Those PvP seasons are pretty expensive. They're like 15 bucks. Like, you do get that much worth of value in there, but I don't know. It's mostly just the max out Immortal. Doesn't really do too much beyond that. If it was like a really, really good Immortal again, I probably would go for it. I haven't seen one since Glacia that has really tempted me. The one from previous season was the closest one, I would say. Because that one actually wasn't that bad. That one Ogre guy. I didn't end up ultimately going for it, though. But I would say that was the closest one since Immortal Glacia that seemed actually worth it. I personally didn't go for it, though. You have 3 at level 30? Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't have a single level 30 yet. Though, if you keep buying the passes, you do get them almost to level 30 every time. I think buying the pass gets you to level 20 something, like low 20 something. Plus all the burning marks to just upgrade all of them. But yeah, we will probably buy it again at some point. I'm just waiting for an Immortal that's just really, really worth it. Honestly, if they would have done it the other way around, I probably would have done it this season. If the other Immortal was the focus one, I probably would have went for it. But for whatever reason, they keep putting the better Immortal as the one that's not targetable. They've been doing this a lot recently. Immortal and Fernex was like that. The Dragon from last season was like that. The current Bay of Stars one that is basically Immortal Glacia is like that. They keep putting the better Immortal as the one that you can't target for some reason. And putting the weaker one is the one that you actually get from the event and everything. I'm not sure why they keep doing that. Because it basically makes it so there's a lower incentive to buy it, not a higher one. Because I 100% would have done it for Immortal Fernex. Like, the second I saw that, if that was the actual featured one for this season, 100% we would have done it. Because that would have brought back the old version of the Great Maul build before they nerfed it like 1,000 times over and moved its trait onto a different troop because it was so powerful. Because that thing at level 30 would be crazy. Because that's basically pre-nerf Great Maul. Just with a different ability and better traits. Because it used to have 15% to Devour on Skull. It eventually got nerfed to 10%. It then got nerfed to 5% and moved to Krog the Dread. But Immortal and Fernex actually has the original 15% Devour rate. It's 10% by default, but 15% once it's max. And has a better trait setup than Great Worm ever had. Though it doesn't have Devour on ability, but its ability's still fine. It's just like a durability increase ability, which works pretty well with the trait setup it has. But now there's going to be almost no way to get a level 30 in Fernex. Like, it's going to take, like, literal years, even if you bought the Season Pass every time. It would still take, like, 2-3 years to get that thing to level 30. If not longer. Whereas if it was the featured one, you could have got it done within, like, you know, pretty much the duration of a season. Or at least pretty close to it. Yeah, oh, average chest there, not too bad actually. Let's go hand out one last code as well. As I'm doubtful we're gonna get anything on this last go, because this is probably our last go for now. Just want to get one nice chest. Who knows, maybe we get a Mimic into a 5x Mimic. Into a Horde Mimic. No, we'll get one more chest and just call it there then. Tomorrow night, we'll only stream if there's an update. Otherwise, I'm not sure if Puzzle Quest 3 will be our next stream then. Unless I'm doing like a Old School RuneScape stream sometime midway through the week. Because this week is actually somewhat tame for Gems of War other than just the daily system thing. Like, all we have is double Quarter Fox event. One on Tuesday and one on the weekend. It's literally a repeat of the same event twice in the same week. It's like the third time it's happened so far. So aside from like the Beast event daily, there isn't really that much this week. Aside from, you know, normal stuff that's always around. But yeah, we are getting an update soon, though. Either this Tuesday, next week's Tuesday, or following Tuesday. Though if they're going to stay to their word of by the end of August, it would have to be this week or next week. Although they might delay it. I don't know, find out. I'm still holding out that it's probably next week's Tuesday, though. I feel like they would have leaked the patch notes tonight if they would have. And I'm pretty sure we still don't have patch notes for it. I'll go check, though. But I'm pretty sure we still don't have leaked patch notes. There's two places we could check. The home button here. And the forum button here. Yeah, we still don't have patch notes for 8.8. So it's probably next week's Tuesday. And sometimes they hit a day early, which is obviously an indication that the following day's patch. Or that they leaked it onto a platform on accident. But if that's not up yet, that probably means it's next week's Tuesday. Also, unless something goes wrong, after this Thursday, it is the last medical visit I have for the rest of the year. Unless something comes up that makes me have to go again. So we can start streaming a bit more then. I was been a little bit hesitant too this month just because of all that. But, yeah, hopefully by the end of this month it should all be sorted. Potentially by this Thursday if I don't have to revisit for any reason. Not sure if I might need to for something. Because every last medical thing I should need for the rest of the year, fingers crossed, should be tomorrow on Thursday. Ooh, purple deeds. I'll take that. Thank you. 50 gems each, but definitely worth. Yeah, generally if we know nothing about it at this point, it's probably not tomorrow. Next week's Tuesday seems like the angle that they would go for. Unless it's getting delayed. Is there any new kingdoms or underworld factions planned for the future? Yes. At some point they likely will. They've been trying to go a little bit slower with it just because the game's already pretty saturated with the event week system. As the current event week system gets slogged down by every other additional one that they end up adding. They've been a little bit hesitant on adding more at the moment. But yeah, since we've been getting new kingdoms again, it's been the longest period since they've been doing it again that we haven't gotten one. It's been, what, 2.5 years now, I believe, since the last kingdom. Because we end up getting Midnight. Was that last year? That wasn't last year, right? That was 2 years ago. It was like 1.5 years ago, not 2.5 years ago. But 1.5 years ago is when we got Midnight. So we're getting close to the 2-year mark then, with no new kingdom. It's likely still planned, it's just... They gotta be careful not to add too many. Because there's already 38 and the event week system takes forever for that to rotate. Like with 38 kingdoms, you basically rotate all kingdoms twice a year. Actually, it's a little bit less than twice a year. And obviously as they keep getting more, it's even slower than that. It almost needs like a weekly overhaul kind of thing. Which maybe they've been waiting on doing that before they add more, who knows. But anyways, guys, any other questions? Anythings? Otherwise, I think we will be calling it there. We will be back on, as far as Gems of War, next week's Monday. Unless we get a patch tomorrow. But next week should be a pretty big week then. Because we got the end of the Beast event going up. We have the patch, most likely that following Tuesday. And whatever the other things are. Oh yeah, we get a pet too. We're getting the international... Oh yeah, and Vault event weekend. Oh yeah, next week is huge. We got the rest of the Beast event to go finish up whatever points you need for whatever you want to get. We have a new pet on Wednesday. Vault event on the weekend. And potentially a patch on Tuesday. Not confirmed, but very, very likely on that day, the 26th. If we're not getting it tomorrow, which we're almost not. It's guaranteed. So 26 is pretty much the day then, if they're going to get it done by the end of this month. So yeah, that's a really big week then. Like basically every day has something. Weekly reset, into potentially patch, into new pet, then like a day off, and then Vault weekend. Very busy week next week for the game. I always love doing that, putting like absolutely everything in a single week. Alright, there we go. And we got a little bit extra stats. What even was that? We got extra HP. Oh, we don't get another set of magic. Come on, you gotta give us a little more magic than that. We keep getting gypped on magic. We got magic on like week 3, and then they gave us no more magic for the rest of the season. Come on, where's like the +6 and +8 magic events again? Those were nice. We're only getting like +2, +4 almost every time now lately. Anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Also, I didn't forget to mention it. This Saturday, well, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but this Saturday we'll probably be revisiting Puzzle Quest 3. It's the other game that the Gems of War devs currently develop, and I haven't checked it in like 2 or 3 years at this point. We played it a lot for the very first year, mostly off stream. However, yeah, I figured we'd go revisit it just to kind of see what the state of the game is like. The main reason I kind of stopped is the daily system became a little bit of a drag, though I've heard they made a lot of improvements to it. Also, getting perfect min-max gear was like a grind and a half in that game, to the point that it was like near impossible to do. Like, I'm talking like literal decades. Obviously, they have made changes to it, so I mostly just want to see what the current state of the game is. And we'll be peeking on that sometime this Saturday, most likely. Either Saturday or Sunday, most likely Saturday. But anyways, guys, hope you all have a wonderful week, wonderful weekend, and I'll catch you guys soon. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for watching.